Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Toon review for tonight's Liverpool versus Newcastle match preview. The big game at Anfield, of course. What a cracker it is hopefully going to be, and pray to God it goes our way. It's going to be a very, very difficult game, that's for certain, with the form Liverpool are on. But you just never know. Alex is in the studio behind the scenes. He hasn't got his camera on yet, so he's obviously running a couple of minutes late, so he'll be with us shortly. But I'm Paul. I am joined by the lady of opinions, the lady who never know what kind of hairstyle she's going to have for the show. But it is the wonderful Sam. Good evening.
Good evening, and good evening to the Magpie Massive out there in Viewland.
Indeed. Now we'll have a quick chat, Sam, about the press conference because it went a little better today. I don't know whether you saw it. I know you were in the chat this morning during the show, but more questions asked towards the team this time and not a loving with the opposition.
Yeah, that was. I didn't see the conference, but I obviously watched your show earlier today. And yeah, it seems like the dust has been blown off the journalists a little bit, and I think as a fan base, we got some information that was marginally valuable, which was great. Without Eddie, he doesn't have to give away tactics. We don't want that. We don't want the team at a disadvantage, but we got some information, thankfully. So yeah, much better performance from the journos. They get like a 7.5.
Yeah, it was much better, and obviously. It kind of forced Eddie into answering certain questions. And the big surprise is that both Botman and Joe Linton could be fit tomorrow. What a boost that would give us, wouldn't it?
Can you imagine?
I know. Yeah,
incredible. I would feel certainly a lot more optimistic. Should even one of those names be back on the squad, even if it's, you know, on the bench, I would feel better having that type of quality to come off the bench tomorrow.
Absolutely. I mean, he was even hinting that they may start. I mean, I think it's a risk, but at the same time, given the way he looked at that second half, it was clear from the press conference, by the way, that he was pretty disgusted with that second half. Every time he mentioned it, his face sort of turned to thunder. And you can understand why he was so pissed. It was dreadful. But tomorrow, what Eddie said that he needs to focus on is the mentality more than anything. And he basically said that he is under no illusion that it was mentality in that second half on Sunday rather than anything else to do with tactics or anything else. It was mentality. So he says we have to play the perfect game tomorrow, Sam. I'm not sure when the last time we played a perfect 90 minutes.
And does the perfect 90 minutes exist for any team? There's always improvements and disciplines to be made. But I love the honesty and transparency. You know, we were talking about it on our review show. So viewers, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. But we were talking about that attitude all the way through. So it was really encouraging for Eddie to actually say that, to call it out, that that's what they need to be focusing on. For me, tomorrow, it's going to be all about the battle for the midfield. If we can, you know, overrun them and have some good pace in that area, you know, then I think we've got a chance. I want to see us spook them tomorrow. I know it's going to be a tough game, but let's bring it. I want to see the fight. The consistency's been our struggle this season. So if we can give them some fight for 90 minutes and just spook them a little bit ahead of the cup, I'll be pleased with that.
You know what is
spook the Scousers?
Oh, here he is.
You spook me. Where have you been?
Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah, you know, Sam, it's fine for him to criticize us when we're late backstage, but it's all right for him.
When am I late? When have I ever been late?
You're always in a good few minutes beforehand. But when I'm, you know, if something's going wrong behind the scenes technically or something like that, I always get a Kim Jong-un emoji or something like that sent in the group chat, which I find absolutely horrific.
Fine. When we're in the TTR HQ, I'll never be late because I'll be here anyway.
Well, yeah, the golden camels at the door. Yes. Anyway, yeah, but I think for Liverpool. We have to, the mentality has to be right, as we're saying. And it's nice that Eddie came out today and said a lot of positive things. Very open and honest, as you say, Sam. Alex, I don't know whether you've had a chance to watch the press conference.
I unfortunately have not had a chance to do anything other than get here 5 minutes past the start time.
There's always he always goes into a violin reason. You know, whenever you ask him a simple question, it's then. Well, I haven't had a chance to do anything.
Okay, viewers. My answer to Paul's question is no.
There you go.
I'll give you all
it's not an excuse; it's a reason.
Well, Alex,
I
you will be pleased
stuff.
to know, buddy, that the journalists, I don't know whether they watched a lot of the fan channels or saw a lot of the feedback from the last.
I heard you two talking about it as I was setting up. Yeah. So I haven't heard it. I'll have to go listen to it. But you said it was all quite positive. I heard Sam give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
And apparently there's some positive news about Botman and Joe Linton as well.
They may be available tomorrow, Alex. He was playing
Tonali's still fit. Which I should bloody hope so after the run-in he did the other day.
Tonali came.
He didn't look
he was basically asked, how's Tonali? Has he come through the game all right? He said, yeah, he's 100% fit, no problem. Peter Garthwaite with a super chat says, as a Toon channel, can you or your team attend a press conference and ask questions on behalf of the fans? Also think dropping Doobs stinks. Well, as for the going to press conferences, we have had zero contact from Newcastle United for anything.
I mean, we've never asked.
We've never asked, to be fair. But we have it in with the ladies' team, as you know. Sam does have media exclusivity, or however you like to pronounce that. But she is in the press box for the ladies' games and does a great job. So you never know. You never say never. Listen, it would be
we
nice.
said this last week. None of us did a David Beckham media studies degree, so we're not qualified to talk and ask questions to managers.
I don't know how that qualifies you to ask questions in a press conference, right? I still don't know.
Apparently it does.
Well, yeah, but bollocks to that.
Papers are important in this world, Paul, apparently.
By the way, where's that comment just gone? Just.
Oh, he's seen something. He's off.
No. A Liverpool fan. Wayne
wow.
Dilworth says Liverpool 2, Newcastle 3 is my prediction. From a Liverpool fan?
Elaborate, please. Tell us
know.
The secret. What is the secret sauce?
Fishing for positivity there. We need an explanation before
Absolutely.
we do.
I know I went all Scooby-Doo there, but I was quite surprised with that. By the way, Nick Pope. Now, he was asked about this as well.
Like a segue is Scooby-Doo the Great Dane straight to Nick Pope.
Indeed. You know how good I am with them segues, Alex. It is a genius part of my... I don't know. Anyway, Nick Pope. He was asked about Nick Pope and Dubravka, the situation with the goalkeepers. And he said he did have a difficult conversation with Martin Dubravka. But Martin, being the professional that he is, will, be determined to perform again and get back into the team. Now, one thing Eddie said at the end of talking about Nick Pope, because he was asked about all his qualities, and of course, Eddie, as he does, ran through loads of qualities that Nick Pope gives us, etc., etc. But at the end of the little paragraph he said about Nick Pope, he said, those qualities are going to be very important for us over the next few weeks.
So he is the goalkeeper.
That's what I took from it, Alex. That's exactly what I took from it. And I said that on the show this morning. That sounds to me like...
few weeks includes the final as well.
Well, listen, I did say on the show this morning, I think it would be disgusting if Dubravka does not play in that final. I know Nick Pope missed the last one, but he only has himself to blame for that because he got himself sent off. Martin Dubravka has got us to the final. He made some fantastic saves on the way to the final and does not deserve to miss out on a place in the final. I would be absolutely disgusted if he's left out. And I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel.
I agree. I am very distracted by Mackham Chippers, though.
Yeah, Mackham Chippers. Well, I mean, it's Mackham Chippers, but...
It's like a weird multiverse where there's two Chippers. That's terrifying.
It is very terrifying.
Part of twins. Maybe there's two of them.
Oh God.
Maybe there's three of them and one's a smoggy.
Oh dear. Gets worse.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh, I mean, it's scary. George Boyle says, I'm 66, racked with arthritis, but Pope moves slower than me. What the hell is wrong with him? Need Doobs back. Now, Sam, a few people have made comments on social media that they noticed during the game on Sunday when Nick Pope was it his left shoulder he did in? Whichever way he was diving, where the injury was, he was wincing, and he was a lot slower getting down. So I wonder if that's still an issue.
It's got to be, and even if the injury's fully healed as an athlete, you're going to be tentative on that side. It's going to cause a moment of hesitation, which could make the difference from a goal going in, a goal not, or 3 points, no points, or 1 point. So we've got to take that into consideration. I'm devastated about it. I think we've been on a real journey with Dubs.
Yep.
I know you mentioned this morning about obviously, his time at Man U and everything, but for me, that's forgotten. He's shown his loyalty, and he's done a really good job for us. And to not have him, for the last game and then insinuating for the next couple of weeks, Stubbs done to deserve that. And given the, post from his missus, life's not fair. I mean, that's hard hitting stuff. So he's gone back home and said to his wife, get this crack, it's blooming vile.
All the rigmarole about getting a new contract from the club itself as well. They're posting out all the, Martin's with us for another year, blah, blah, blah. And then you're on your arse, son. I mean, Eddie did say that as a manager, he has the hard decisions. That is part of the job, making difficult decisions. But then he started rabbiting through the qualities that Nick Pope has and, on and off the field. And I thought, well, hang on, off the field, fair enough. We're talking about on it here, Eddie. And quite frankly, Pope's form had definitely dropped, Alex, before he got injured. It had dropped. We saw it had dropped. And then, but now it looks like Pope is going to be the number one again moving forward.
It's just odd because it didn't seem like Dubravka did anything glaringly wrong to have warranted being dropped. Pope agreed, hasn't had a brilliant season from early season when he was playing. And I don't buy it, what Eddie Howe's saying. I completely disagree with him, saying that he's got to make the hard decisions. I don't think he's made a lot of the hard decisions. I think he's it depends on how you want to frame this, stuck to his guns, or so all we referenced this the other day, like Dan Burn having an absolute torrid run of form at left back last year, never ever brought out of the firing line. He did not explore other options to try and stop the rot with that. So I don't think he made any decisions. I thought he just rode that out until it got better, luckily for him as a manager. Likewise with Callum Wilson's injury record and the lack of being able to shift him. You've got Fabian Schär not being dropped despite form just continuously not improving. There are so many other areas in which he's refrained and just not made a decision at all. And it's not even been talked about. So I'm not buying this. I don't think this was a decision that even needed to be made. I don't think it was a hard decision. I think it was a strange decision, one that I don't think he's justified with his answer at all. He doesn't technically, this is what I said about the whole Paul Mitchell thing. Eddie doesn't owe us anything. He can choose who he wants to choose, and that's his business. It's his job. But I don't understand the supporting statements for Pope being the guy straight back in. Feels a bit odd. But again, he can do what he wants. He's the manager. So
he is. He is that. And I think, he does have difficult decisions to make. But for me, Pope did nothing wrong against Manchester City. I don't think that defeat was down to Nick Pope. I think there was a lot of, the whole 11 were off. Yes, that's what I meant. Yeah.
He got defensive errors. Errors. It's not all goals are down to Dubs, and I just think it's really upset me. And Alex is absolutely right. I totally agree with him on this point. That I think it's a soft response, and this is again a showcase of Eddie favoritism. And I don't think this is the right decision for the team, especially in the run of fixtures that we've got. I'm so disappointed.
But we don't have to like it. If he wins us a trophy, then I don't care, and neither will anybody.
It's a harder route, though. It's a harder route when you've got someone who's in form and not in form.
Well, in our opinion, it's a harder route, but maybe he's got.
But if you remember,
ace up his sleeve.
If you remember last season, guys, we were talking about when Dubravka played. It was like the defense went to pieces. It did. Now it's the other way around. I think the back four panic when Nick Pope's there now because he simply can't play out with his feet. Yes, he might
balls over the top. It's fine. Like
Yes.
they're deer in headlights for different reasons, right? Balls over the top.
Yeah.
Dubs used to struggle, and Pope was fine, but then ball to feet again, it was the opposite way around, right? So it's they're worse and better at different things.
I mean, I still can't agree with him on, Eddie saying Pope was in because of his distribution. I think, yes, he can take quick throws, but that's it. Right, there is a poll now up. Which goalkeeper starts for you? Not what Eddie will do, but who do you want to start in goal tomorrow night against Liverpool? Is it Pope or Dubravka? Get voting now. We'll touch on that a bit later on. That is pinned in there.
In the poll.
I am not putting Ruddy in the poll. It's clear to me that he's been brought in as a coach, because if you saw him in the warm-up against on Sunday against Forest, he was coaching the goalkeepers in the warm-up. So I pretty much
clearly doing a good job. Like Dubs is much better.
Yeah.
He was coach. He was what? He's taking them through actual. He wasn't. Yeah,
practicing. He was. The crosses. He was working with Nick Pope with crosses coming into the box. He was trying to distract him, and then when he was catching it, he was explaining things to him. So. His experience, listen, he's very experienced. And, I always thought that was the reason they brought him in. It wasn't that he was going to be number one. I mean, yes, he's very good at playing.
Coaches are much cheaper to hire than players. Can we stop hiring players as coaches?
Well,
because you have to pay them thousands a week. You don't have to do that for a coach.
Indeed. Peter Garthwaite, another super chat. Eddie Howe has bottled the hard decisions. So that's a load of shit. Peter's a big fan of Eddie Howe, as you can tell. Now, he was asked, Alex, whether he would go with 5 at the back.
Who asked that?
A journalist.
I'd be curious to know who said it.
But he was asked
the
about...
lady in the canteen asked it, Alex.
Well, it certainly wasn't Louise this time. She wasn't there. Thank the stars. And he didn't obviously say he was going to play 5 at the back. He said it is an option if Botman is fit. Basically, the question was, if Botman is fit, would you think about going 5 at the back? And I kind of get the impression that he probably would. And I think he might just do if Botman's fit.
He needs to. This is the only way we get points out of this game is 5 at the back.
Yeah.
But is there a chance that 4-3-3 all clicks and... Tinkerbell has feathered some fairy dust on the pitch of Scousland, maybe, but I think that for points, it's a back 5 all day long.
Yeah, I agree. And for once, I agree with the back 5. I think it would be a lot more settling if we saw a back 5 tomorrow with Botman back in. The question obviously being that Botman has been out a couple of weeks. Can he come straight back in? But on the flip side of that, he was out for a year and came straight back in and did absolutely fantastically well. So
we conceded 4 against City. It literally doesn't matter at this point. We just need to try whatever.
Absolutely.
It worked against Arsenal twice, so it's tried and tested. Why don't we just do it again?
But the fact that Joe Linton is very close as well, according to Eddie, so that came as a bit of a surprise. I didn't expect Joe Linton to be anywhere near Eddie, because last week it was, I think Keith Downey reported that he'd hopefully be fit for the cup final. So all of a sudden, a few weeks ahead of the cup final, Joe Linton is pressing for a place at Liverpool tomorrow. But if we play 5 at the back, Alex, does Joe Linton come into the side? And who misses out? Because obviously Tonali and Bruno will play, but does Joe Linton then go left?
Yes.
So where does Anthony Gordon go?
Oh, if we're playing 5 at the back?
Yeah.
No. He just doesn't play.
So he leaves Joe Linton on the bench.
We'll
does
do
he
this
play him on the right for Jacob Murphy?
This is going to be hard for everybody to visualize. Well, some of you probably got better brains than I have. I can't visualize this without a graphic in front of me. So I would most certainly think we should do this with a graphic when we get to it. But because he's got options, Paul, because he's played Joe Linton as a shoe-in centre-half left-back in funny little trials, and it's worked pretty well. So it's everything you said. All of that is possible because he's tried it in weird ways before. So maybe to answer all of it.
Would you be more confident with 5 at the back, Sam?
Yes.
You would?
I would absolutely want to see 5 at the back, but it all obviously hinges on Botman's
Sven
fitness.
Botman, indeed.
Mhm.
We shall see. Guys, don't forget, please do like the show if you are enjoying it. And of course, super chats are available. If you do super chat, that will guarantee your comment to be read out on the show. That's the $ underneath the live chat. And of course, a massive thank you to channel sponsors, Mamaroo Records. They're based in Whitley Bay, guys. For all your music needs, if you can't get into the town centre, they are online, pinned at the top of the description. And of course, memberships are available as well. We've got some prizes on TTR Friday this week for our members, but you do have to be a member. Ruffy Benisian says, same lineup if Sven is okay versus Arsenal's second leg, but with Tino in for Trippier. Well, I mean, Julie says Murphy's excellent at right wing back.
No,
I wouldn't. Not when we've got, I think, Livramento or Trippier there. I just think Livramento is like a jigsaw when he crosses the halfway line.
It's every so often he just stops and ball watches, and players get free. And it's that against a team like Liverpool. This is arguably the best team in the country and one of the best teams in Europe right now. We have two like right backs in Tino and Trippier. I don't know why we would play with Murphy as a wing back. That's if there's injury, surely.
Yeah. Brian H with a super chat simply says, "I love chicken."
And
Is it a full moon tonight? Because we've got like two chippers in the chat. Galant loves chippers.
Because we've got to go to the Scousland Arena tomorrow. Everybody's in a funny mood.
Right.
Alex, have respect for the opposition, please.
The Scousland Arena that has speakers under the seats? No.
Hey, I saw that. Is that for? I mean, look, I'm not saying that's real or not, but what
hat, fake atmosphere.
Yeah, what I did see was in the background. I don't know whether there was a group of people while the crowd and sound effects were playing. Now, is that just for the stadium tours? Do you think so they can get a kind of feeling of what the atmosphere is like when it really is ramped up at Anfield? I can't believe they play crowd noises through a speaker system under the seats. I'm sorry, but a team of Liverpool's stature, if they did that, that would be seriously embarrassing.
It is, isn't it?
I can't. No, I'm not entertaining that.
To be fair, we can't really talk. We've got home games this season where people just go flat. The East Stand just forget they're like awake. It happens. So,
Alex, I said this morning. It happens at every ground. You know, you get the atmosphere brilliant before a game. The adrenaline's flowing, and then sometimes it goes flat. So
it's more noticeable in the historically famous atmospheres because when a team visits and there is a flat period, they go,
"Where's your famous
atmosphere?
Is this library? Is the
exactly.
I hear that so many times at St James's Park. It gets under my skin when they start singing. I'm thinking, just concentrate on your own fecking team. You know what I mean? Sod the atmosphere. Well, not sod it, but you know where I'm going with it. Calvin has been a member for 8 months. Thank you, mate. I'd like to see Joe Litton on the right if he's fit. Murphy needs a rest. He's been poor lately. He's still getting goal contributions. I mean, is it a bad thing, Sam, if a player's not playing too well but is still getting goal contributions? Would you look at dropping him?
Oh, I mean, if we had lots of quality lined up right behind him, maybe we could drop him.
Got a spare right winger?
Yeah, I've got loads of those.
Yeah, we had one. We sold him.
Yeah, we did.
I have no one.
Yes, we did.
Will Osula, makeshift right wing. Now is the time.
Yeah, we all know that Eddie will not be doing that. Joe Jackson says, every time I give Newcastle supporters a chance, they insult us.
We're only winding you up. We got called the Sports Direct Arena. Give us a chance. Come on.
Liverpool fans, please just send your complaints in to contact.thetoonreview@gmail.com and I will forward them on to Alex gracefully. Because it wasn't
you guys won a trophy last season. Give us a bit of, we were allowed a little bit of banter. We're trying our best here.
Yeah. Liverpool lost the midfield battle last time we played. They will rectify it this time and try to overrun us in midfield, says Coffee.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Niall says, Germany, I have been a few times. Eh? Germany, I have been few games. It's always mental.
Oh, the German atmosphere in some of the
atmosphere.
stadiums is immense. But a lot of it's similar in Poland. It's because they have the ultras section with the drums, and they have people leading things to make sure that never goes flat. It's something that just doesn't really exist in England.
Fubar's out walking the pub and can't see the moon, so maybe it's something like 7 planets can be seen tonight or something along them lines. Tom made a comment about the East Stand saying it's always like that, and over the years, the East Stand has been known as the sleepy stand for me because it is. I mean,
I sit there in places
I don't know how to. I don't know how to word this, and I'm not sure whether I dare, because it may insult a lot of people.
It's a snooze fest. Let's face it. It's even worse when it's an early game because nobody's been to the pub for a few pints beforehand.
Paul, you tell me off for being a bit posh sometimes, but I find myself when I'm in the East Stand, I will challenge a call, or I will, get a bit verbal, and everybody looks at me like I'm the uncouth, who's this weirdo getting a bit gobby? And I'm the only one who's saying anything, and there's a row of people just all quiet, just with their arms folded, like you're at a sporting event. What are we doing here?
It's I mean, flat caps and dominoes. I don't know. And anyway, well, it does seem like that. Seriously,
you said it.
You actually get wrong. Like Alex has just said, some people tell you off for cheering and stop being so noisy. It's a bloody football game. Well, knowing some of the blokes that are in the leasers, if they were ever told to shut up, I know what would happen. It wouldn't be a peaceful environment. Does anyone know if Billy's okay? Yeah, he's fine. He should be back with me tomorrow for the commentary on the game. He was going to come back today, but we told him to just give it another day or so. Let the antibiotics kick in, and he'll be high as a kite tomorrow night. Adrian says Howe stated very confidently that Barnes can play both wings. Yes, he did.
I don't think he can play one of them confidently. Personally,
he's not. He's not playing too well, is he, at the minute? Let's be honest.
He's nowhere near looking in this team.
Yeah. I feel the same. I don't see. I think Harvey Barnes has been a poor signing, Sam.
Oh, absolutely, and an absolute fortune as well. So yeah, an interesting one. But mind you, let's think back to the beginning of the season. He did get some goals for us, which helped us over the line. Would we be in the same position without his contribution? Would I like to sell him? Yes.
Robert Morrison says I was in the East Stand last time and I swore once.
Nobody looks at you.
LG says the East Stand is always quiet. Paul says you don't need to say anything, Paul. We know what the East Stand is like. I mean, we're bound to have some people that sit in the East Stand watch this channel.
It just irks me the fact that I'm not from the region, and when I go up, I'm like, can we? I don't know. It's just weird. It's spooky.
Yeah. Paul World says you all said very different about Barnes when he was starting and scoring. No, we didn't.
I did not. I absolutely did not, Paul. If you go back and watch my ones, I was still unhappy with his general gameplay and output. I was happy with the goals, but I didn't like his game.
You listened to Billy as well. Billy's never thought that Barnes was a good signing. Paul, let's be very fair.
I've had to eat my words and say I don't like how he plays, but he's scoring, so I'll shut up. That's always been my opinion, and it still is my opinion. He's a very good finisher. He's very clinical, but I don't like his general gameplay. I don't think he suits our team or our system. It's very odd that he was recruited for us because I don't think it works in the way we want to play. Anthony Gordon mentioned this in an interview recently. He got asked who he wanted to sign, if he could sign anybody. I can't remember who he said. Who did he say? He said somebody, and then he said, "Oh, but they wouldn't suit our style the way we play at Newcastle anyway." And I was like, "Well, you know what? Your stand-in Harvey Barnes doesn't either, mate." It was very odd.
Richard
Palmer, that was it. He said Palmer.
Yeah, got my tickets for the Palace match in April. Hopefully, get a point tomorrow night at least.
Hope it's not in the East Stand.
Yet still Paul World's back again. Yet still Barnes performed when he was playing. So, well, when was the last time Barnes had a good game, Paul?
Tune changed.
Yeah, but when did he last play a good game when he's been on the pitch? Because he came on Sunday and was anonymous. He was dreadful. That was a big opportunity for him to, help Newcastle get forward again and have a bit more of the ball. And he was anonymous. You can criticize players, Paul. Don't worry. You can say that they're not playing very well. Was I loving Harvey Barnes' goals earlier on in the season? Absolutely, because it was saving us points and gaining us points when we were playing shit. But recently, nah, not for me.
It was one goal in November against Forest away, one goal against Brentford in December, and that's been it. That you've got to go all the way back to that run of form in September when he was playing well. So he had his little patch of goal scoring, and then it's 2 since the end of September.
Christopher says the Geordie Journal said Barnes is good, 25 yards from goal, but other than that, doesn't provide much else.
Yeah, agreed.
Anyway, let's have a look at the opposition, shall we, Alex?
Yes, let's do that.
Yes, you sound like an old matron there, Alex.
Yes, yeah, matron.
Yeah.
Well, you know what he's like. You know what he's like, Sam. It's just he has to get the.
That before we even look at team stats, that is just illegal, by the way.
Well, yeah.
So
Yeah,
good. You've got to respect it, but it terrifies me. God,
He's fantastic. He's fantastic.
the new contract yet? This baffles me.
It's mental. I was having a conversation with a family member this morning, and I did say, I'm not going to give away my prediction yet, but I think the only way we win this is if we score more than them. It's a Kevin Keegan game. This is the only way we win this game. I don't think there's any other outcome. And 16 assists, by the way, is just 41 goals and assists, and we're in February.
That's filthy.
Yes,
He is Mr. Liverpool. He is.
It's gross. This is going to be a bit boring for everybody, but Liverpool are the best at this. They're the best at this. They're only the second best at goals conceded. They're the best at clean sheets. They're only the fourth best at possession. They're the best at XG. They're really good. I'm going to skip this bit. Liverpool are really good. They're good at kind of most of the things. Let's skip that bit. Let's go straight to their last match so you can see their last lineup.
Alex, that's probably been your strongest tactical analysis there. I really enjoyed that.
They're the best team in the league by a long way. Whether it's corner kicks, counter-attacks, possession, transitions, they're really good at all of the stuff. They've recruited well. They've had a good base built by Jurgen Klopp and now being carried on by Arne Slot. And this is the last 11 that played against Manchester City. I am a little bit, by the way, livid at how much weaker that 11 is from City compared to our game. Foden as a lone striker. De Bruyne are in, whose legs have gone. Doku.
So's your voice by the sound of things, Alex.
So is my voice. I'm
whose
so
legs
livid.
have
My voice cannot contain
Me.
it. I've been talking all day, so it doesn't help.
Oh, here we go.
So I'm livid about that.
Little violin again.
I'm actually going to buy a violin now. This was the 11 against Man City. It was a little bit weird because it was Dominic Szoboszlai as well in front of Curtis Jones. A bit more traditional Mo Salah and Diaz on the left and right wings. McAllister and Gravenberch in midfield. Of course, all of the media constantly talking up Gravenberch as, is he very good? Yes. But I think it's some kind of weird narrative that they're pushing that he was crap when he joined, but now he's just been improved. No, he had that potential anyway. There was a reason why he was at Bayern Munich. I think they're just being a bit silly and naive. We knew he could be very good, and he's now being very good. With a back four, we know of Mr. I can't defend, but I'm very good at everything else, and would have been David Beckham 15 years ago.
You know what, Alex? I watched a clip. I don't know whether anybody else saw it on X today. There was a clip of him in his recent encounters with Doku at Manchester City. And my God, his defending is shambolic, by the way. It is
Yep.
rank
Yep.
bad. And Anthony Gordon should target that mofo tomorrow.
100%. 100%. This guy is a right mid in a 4-4-2. This Alexander Arnold is a right mid from 20 years ago. He's in the wrong time period for his skill set. He's very unlucky that he's been put into right back, and he can't be. He would be one of the best right midfielders in the world in traditional 4-4-2s, but nobody does that anymore. So, Kanate, Van Dijk. Oh, I accidentally clicked on that.
Well,
and Robertson, who
Owain,
is equally.
Is his name Dwayne, or has he typed it in wrong, or is it Owain?
Owain.
Owain.
Is it Owain? Slot
Owain,
plays
man.
4-4. He's played 4-4-2 against City, according to Owain.
Well,
and Trent defensively is atrocious.
Yeah.
Yay.
So maybe it didn't look like this in
once the game got underway.
Yeah, it was potentially Salah probably furthest forward. It was probably quite a flexible shape. I can't imagine it was a rigid 4-4-2 because Diaz can go and join. Szoboszlai can definitely drop considerably deeper. Has played as a 10 a lot of his career as well, and deeper for Hungary. Curtis Jones can be an attacker. It's a really fluid system. McAllister probably the deepest, although I've seen him for Argentina play just behind Messi. So everybody's quite versatile. Gravenberch is an 8. So once you get to be that level of footballer, there's less of a problem with it. So anyway, predicted lineup for us for SofaScore.
Before you go with that, Alex, Keith Moore says, Sam, you always have a smile on your face. Them other two just argue.
It's true.
Do we?
Miseries.
Well, listen, we don't argue. We have debates sometimes. Sometimes, but I don't know whether you've heard of debating. You probably do something with master in front of it. But you know what it is? It's called passion, and it's called debating, which we do on this show, which everybody enjoys, because we're all not going to sit here and just say yes to each other and agree all the time. What is the point of that? Anyway, Julie says Sam is a wind-up merchant. Absolutely. Anyway,
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you are absolutely right, Paul. I'm very passionate about proving you wrong. It's definitely correct. Anyway, I clicked on Fabian share. No, let's not do that. Go away, Fabian. Sit down. So, what do we think about SofaScore's lineup? They've gone with Pope in goal, which I think is quite
I think he will be. Just going off what Eddie said today, just that little comment at the end. I was like, "Oh, that's pricked my ears up." That means that Pope is probably the goalkeeper going forward. I think
this is unchanged. It's just Tonali.
I think if we play 4-3-3 tomorrow, we get hammered.
Well, they think Jota's going to start.
It doesn't matter who starts for them; they can all score goals. That's the problem. They've got an array of talent.
I'm actually a little bit annoyed that Tsimikas might start because I think Anderson's made a lot of mistakes this season. So I think their fullbacks this season are really there to be had at. I mean, Alexander Arnold has always been very suspect defensively, and I think Robertson is starting to decline and is not at an elite level anymore. He's hanging on. So I think if Murphy can have a good game and Gordon can just be Anthony Gordon, I think the fullbacks is definitely somewhere we can have some luck.
Jota likes a dive, as we know, Sam. He likes to throw himself to the floor.
Yeah, equally so does Al Bruno. So I'm not really going to call out anybody else too much. Well, we've got to be honest here. You know, he's drawn the most fouls, I think, in the Premier League, is it? Like, that's just what Al Bruno does. So, shoe on the other foot, then you've got to respect what another player wants to bring the game. If it works for them, it works.
Yes.
Apparently, I said Anderson, not Robertson. Sorry, I meant Robertson. Andy Robertson. I mixed them together.
Fusion.
Terrible, Alex. Falling to pieces. Susan says, everyone my son puts on his shirt plays poorly. Well, Susan, tell him to wear a shirt with no name on the back. And let's see how that goes. And hopefully that
get him a Liverpool Salah shirt. Do that.
Don't do that.
Ooh. Yeah. Sam.
But I'm just thinking of the greater good. I'm sorry. It'll be 90 minutes and then it's done. Burn it.
I mean,
I
wow.
know.
Toon Assassin says there's nothing wrong with debating or master arguing. If you don't like the passion, become a Sad Mackham. Exactly, Mr. Assassin. Well said, my friend. Brighton have gone 1-0 up, by the way. Right, let's put this team together. I think Botman plays tomorrow.
I bloody hope so.
Don't tease me with a good time.
I honestly, I do. I think he plays tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think Eddie's doing his normal, very coy self in the press conference and saying, "Well, he's going to be close when we're not giving anything away to Mr. Schlott." I think he plays.
Are we thinking this kind? Oh no! Sorry, Martin, you've been deemed as I don't know, not good enough. Apparently,
Terrible, lad. Terrible.
This is the general idea.
If we play 5-3-2, here's a question, Sam. Would you play Murphy?
5-2-3.
That's what I meant.
Who else are you going to play?
Yeah.
Well, could you not play 5-3-2? Take Murphy out, put Big Joe in if Joe's fit.
Give a multiple choice if you're going to play that kind of game.
If Joe's fit, then I might be tempted to go Gordon and Isak up top.
Up top, and then the 5-3-2.
Yeah.
Drop. Yeah, I mean, we could do. Where is Joe?
Where have you put Joe Linton?
He's in the
It's because he got injured, so he got put.
He's in the medical unit.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, I mean, this is going to put all the onus onto Trent Alexander-Arnold. But if we do, I mean, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know. Some amalgamation of these players in some form of shape. Joe Linton's very good at joining the left side of attack. It could get quite funny in transition, but Livramento is going to have to do so much running. He's good at that, though. He's very good at running.
Let's ask the viewers what they do. We've got a super chat from Keith, first of all. As long as we don't sit back and let them come at us, we need to get at them. Teams like Liverpool don't like it. Let's roughhouse them and work the black arts. Hell yes, I'm all for the black arts tomorrow. Right, by the way, the original poll was which goalkeeper starts for you, the viewers. 81% said Dubravka. 81% of the Newcastle United fan base want Martin Dubravka. Eddie Howe, are you watching? Are you listening? Please. There you go.
Who said Pope? Which of you? Which among you?
19% said Nick Pope.
Which among you? Tell us why.
Look, if we win the game, then I don't care. I just feel like Martin Dubravka's. I don't know why I'm first naming him now. Dubravka's not really deserved the dropping. Swap Joe Linton and Tonali. No.
So
I shall not, Joe. I am putting them there because Tonali likes doing runs on the right wing, and he's very quick. And Joe Linton is much better on the left side and joins the left wing attacks. So no, I shall not change them around.
And I think plus with Hall, Gordon, and Joe Linton there, is Trent going to be able to cope with that? Might be our best.
I'm not saying this is going to work. I don't think this is even a viable shape. I'm not even sure we've tried anything like this. But I think, I don't know. I don't know if this is, because obviously we would probably want Tonali sitting. Bruno's not going to be able to cope out there. Then you would need Joe. I don't know. There's so many things you could do with this, I don't know, choice of players.
Right. Well, we're putting it to the viewers because there is a poll going up right now. What formation would you play? Would you play 5-3-2, 5-2-3, 4-3-3, or 5-4-1? Those are your options. Let's see what the viewers would go for tomorrow night.
5-5-0.
Well,
we've done
that's
that
how we have, and it may end up like that. If I'll tell you something, Alex, if we're winning 1-0 with like 10 minutes to go, you bet your bottom dollar we go 5-5 with it.
Yeah, but we've got no Miggy to get subbed on and do the little. That will never leave my memory for as long as I live. Is Miggy getting subbed on and going?
Yeah.
Just 2 5s and just carrying on. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
We're doing what? Sorry.
Indeed. Susan Fagan with a super chat saying Murphy and Isak have too good a chemistry, in my opinion. You've got to play Murphy. That's a good point. Keith Truscott says somehow don't see Big Joe. I think Eddie will start with Miley and Big Joe off the bench.
Ooh.
Miley. Okay.
The thing is, Paul, is if we do use Joe Linton, maybe it's going to be in a back four.
Christ, I thought you were going to say back six there.
No, it potentially could be this. And like we've done before, with him dropping in as either an extra centre half or as an extra.
Well, we do go to that whenever we do play 4-3-3. We do go to that sort of 5-4-1 defensive shape when we're defending.
Well, no, it depends who we're playing against. We either do that in not settled possession, out of possession once they've bypassed the press.
Sorry, 4-5-1 is what I meant to say.
Yeah, we sit like that. Yep. Or there has been several games, primarily against Spurs, he's done this, where Joe Linton has dropped into either that position or there, either or, and then Gordon and Murphy have dropped back into a 5-4-1, and Joe Linton has either become a centre half or a fullback, wing back kind of position. So that's something he may do. He's done it before.
If we go forward the back, Alex, if we do start forward the back, actually, Sam, I'll ask you this first. If we go forward the back and Botman's fit, does he drop, Burn, or Share?
Share, absolutely.
You think he leaves Share out?
Absolutely. Got to. Just his attitude, his performance of late has been shocking. I say of late, all season, he has not been at the races. He's making foolish decisions. He needs to do his defensive thing like he's always done in past seasons. He's just not been with it. So, yeah, if I had to make the choice between Shaw and Burn, get rid of Shaw, get him on the bench. I'd take Kraft over him.
Super chat from Nick Thornton. Thanks, Nick. Should be the same formation and game plan that we used against Arsenal. I mean, are we?
Yeah, well, I'm just checking that now. Hang on. What did we play? We played that against Arsenal,
which I think is what we're all clamoring for this time around, aren't we? Except Livramento probably in for Trippier.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wouldn't be.
What I was going to say was, are we paying? You know how we sort of look at the opposition and we think what the opposition could do to us. Why not be a bit positive and say, right, what can we do to Liverpool? Everybody's worried about what Liverpool are going to do to us. But I want to turn the stop nodding your head, Alex. I want to turn the table and try and get a bit positivity for us going forward and trying to win the game. Because we know that, we have players on that pitch tomorrow night who are very capable of winning the game.
But how are they? Apart from down the left, where are we winning this? Where can we get at them?
Just to respond to Paul, so that number there, 46, is the amount of goals we've scored as a team collectively. Mo Salah has collectively got 41 as a result of his goals and assists.
Look,
that's
I don't
one
care.
player.
I do not care. Why can we not look at the positives? And people are saying, "Oh, Liverpool have lost once at home, Paul, or lost once, or whatever." Why can't we go there and win the game? If we can go to somewhere like Arsenal and win, we can go to other places and win. Why can't we go to
Liverpool?
Anfield?
Aren't historically as bottly as Arsenal, and I think they're a bit better.
Yes, but we know that on our day, if we can turn up, we can give anyone a game.
I agree with you.
But we just haven't had many of those days consistently for a full 90 minutes.
Yeah, everybody thought PSG were going to come to St. James's Park and batter us. We battered them, and we did really well at the Parc des Princes as well. So there's nothing saying that we can't go and do well. If we want to be classed as one of the big boys in the Premier League, we have to go and do something at places like Liverpool and prove that we are one of the big boys in the Premier League.
I think we're a few more transfer windows away from
but what I'm saying is all these players that are coming out saying, "Oh, we want Champions League, we want Champions League." Go and fucking prove it by getting the results.
No, I agree with you there. They've got to get the results to justify their, what they're asking for. Yeah, you're right. But you've got to remember the lack of first-team signings in recent transfer windows. For us to be walking in, swinging things, we definitely have to have more players for that first team.
Yeah, look at Isak's debut though, as people are saying in the chat. That performance there, where we were robbed, by the way.
We were, yeah.
And we've given some good goals at Anfield, and those players. You look at the likes of. What I'm saying is the big players in our team have got to turn up. They have to turn up tomorrow, because if they don't, we will lose the game and lose the game quite easily. But you look at the likes of Bruno tomorrow, Tonali, Gordon, Isak, the big players in the team, the big names. They've got to turn up and not give up like they have in recent times and drop heads as soon as goals are conceded. They've got to get on the horse and ride it. Gallop.
I think some of the Liverpool fans have been confused as well. Joe, I'm not talking about bottling against you in the title race. Not everything is about Liverpool. I'm talking about Arsenal bottling it against us because we have beaten them 3 times this season, convincingly. The last 2 were 2-0 each in the Carabao Cup, and they lost their heads over it severely. We beat them last season, and they lost their heads about a ball being out or not out. We keep beating them a lot, and they don't like it. So I'm referring to that. I'm not referring to the title races.
Liverpool do not like it when you get in their faces. And I'd love somebody to absolutely drive through Virgil van Dijk tomorrow and say, you're in a game, sunshine. And get a bit of payback, and not in an indisciplined way. I want to see somebody go in hard, knock him over with a tremendous tackle in the early minutes of the game to say, you're not going to have a comfortable game tonight, sunshine. And there's one for Anthony Gordon for that elbow. I think he's a twat. Yeah. And I honestly hope we go at him. But Liverpool do not like it when when players are in their faces. They don't like it. And I think that was proved at St. James's Park in the 3-3 draw. They don't defend very well when you get in the faces and you press them. And I just hope to God that's the Newcastle that turn up tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Keith with another super chat saying, I'm with you, Paul. Feck him. Look at attacking them as opposed to always being defensive setup. We've got the players that can attack them. So why not give it?
But we played 5 at the back against Arsenal, but the first half we went for them, even with 5 at the back. 5 at the back doesn't necessarily mean you're going to forfeit territory and possession. We still go for people. We still press aggressively. We can still be that team. No, I agree with you, Paul, to a degree. If that front 3 of Gordon, Isak and Murphy can do what they've done at times this season. Look what we did at Forest. In how many minutes did it take for us to score 4 goals? Was it like 14 minutes?
11 minutes. 11 and a half minutes.
So for Liverpool fans watching, we put 4 past Forest in minutes. So, and we've done it to a lot of teams this season. Fine, we've had to have the right game. We've had to be in the right mood. Fine, it's not a guarantee. But if we can get our front 3 purring, which they've done quite a lot this year, we might be able to do more than a left and a right hook all at once. And you guys are going to have to come and just score more than us. So things have got to click. I mean, look at the reverse fixture. It was 3-3. We did go toe to toe.
Yeah, a win is there.
We're only left with a point.
That will get the Anfield crowd alive also if Newcastle play aggressive. Good, because I think our players will thrive under an atmosphere like that. You know, rather than a quiet ground. Yeah. Oh, dear me. Oosh.
I don't know that's a thing. I'm just having fun.
I just think, Sam, that Liverpool will probably expect us not to go out all at them in the first few minutes tomorrow. The way maybe they have thoughts in their head that we might pay them too much respect. And we've been guilty of that in the past, about giving them too much respect to these top teams.
Certainly. And I agree with that. I would suspect that we're not going to get too much respect, and good. That'll be in our favour if that's the way that they do play. I think the structure that Slot has, the tactics that he has as well. I think he makes good in-game decisions in terms of substitutes as well. It's a formidable side that we're against, with not just quality individuals, but they play very cohesively as a team. Now, you're absolutely right. There's huge positives that we can try and draw out from this game. I want to, as I said earlier, spook them, give them something to worry about in the final, that we're going to come there, we're going to give them a game, we're going to really show them our mettle, show what we're worth. And if we can exploit some areas like that left-hand side, then I think that's going to be the money shot.
Yeah,
Paul, I've got a question for both of you. Liverpool played Man City literally on the 23rd, so our game is on the 26th.
Yeah,
I appreciate that we've had to play as well. And it was against Man City as well, and there was the whole probably quite a bit of adrenaline and emotion after they've gone very clear.
The cruise through the game, though, Alex. The cruise through.
They're very well secured at the top of the table. Is there, and this is for Liverpool fans as well. This is for you two and for Liverpool fans. Do you think there's a potential of maybe a little wobble of mentality because they're now pretty solid at the top. They've got Champions League to think about. They played 3 days ago. I know it's at home, but is there the potential for this to be a bit wobbly for you as a game? Are we the best opponents for you in this fixture?
Well, I just think we need to forget about Liverpool and play our own game, mate, to be honest. I just think we need to concentrate on doing the right things on the pitch, not switching off, no silly little mistakes, like we've been doing recently because I think, you give an early goal away at Anfield, you're not getting back in the game for me. If we concede in the first couple of minutes, then kiss it goodbye. But I want to see a committed performance tomorrow, not waving hands in the air, not complaining. I want to see the leadership group stand up and be counted, and play for the freaking badge. Play for those fans that are making the journey down there. They won't get home till God knows when in the morning because of a stupid 8:15 kickoff because of TNT Sports. Ridiculous, by the way.
Stupid.
Ian Morgan says, I am with Paul on this one. I would love it if we beat them. Absolutely.
Although, would you prefer to win the final or this fixture?
Both. No, both. Let's win both. Let's get in the heads tomorrow. Let's get in the heads tomorrow by winning the game, right? And let's get it. So when it comes to the cup final, like, oh, yeah, this isn't an easy game at all. This cup final, where get in the head, screw them up. Why not? Nick Thornton with a super chat saying, we will win tomorrow. Take the 3 points and go on another great run. Champions League, here we come. How are the lads? Keith Truscott says, we need to throttle the bastards, figuratively speaking. Indeed. Right, let's get results of the poll about what the viewers would like for a formation. Okay. Right. Oh, okay. 39% want to see a 5-4-1. 28% a 5-3-2. 17% a 5-2-3. And 15% a 4-3-3. So lots of different, very sporadic voting there. Very interesting. Anyway, it is time for predictions. Get your predictions in the chat, guys. Let us see how you're feeling ahead of the game. Oh dear, I'm interested to see all these predictions come through, I tell you. Alex, we'll go with you first tonight for your prediction.
Yeah, I think maybe Liverpool fans are being a little bit disrespectful as to what we can bring on our A game, because I think they were on an enormous win streak at the start of the season. They lost to Forest, but I think in the first 19 matches, it was a loss to Forest and a draw to Arsenal, and that was it. The rest were all wins. And they came to St. James's Park, and we went for them, toe-to-toe, 3-3 draw. So I think maybe they're underestimating us a little bit. However, our recent form has been a bit crap. So I'm going to go.
Really? Bloody hell.
Oh, it's a big one. I'm going to go for 3-2 to Liverpool. I think we're going to lose this one. I think Isak and Gordon are going to score.
You bastard. Sam.
I agree with Alex.
Oh, you bitch.
Oh man, I know it's killing me, but this is what the head's saying. All the stuff in consideration, yeah. But I would like to see that anger harbored, lessons learned, taken into the final where we have our revenge and we lift the cup.
I've seen a few people in the chat say that Sunday's game against Brighton is more important. I don't see it that way. I think we've got to keep an eye on the Premier League, because if we fail away, then the Premier League is very important. Yes, the FA Cup run is a very, very important run as well. But Robert Freeman is calling you traitors. Traitors!
Fair.
How dare you?
I feel dirty.
Oh, sorry that I don't predict us to be invincible every season.
Alanson Maximan joins us in the chat. He's going 7-1 Newcastle.
Get in, Maxi.
I mean, that would get the headlines, wouldn't it? Bloody hell. Right, my prediction is 2-1 Newcastle. And I am going with Isak to get one and Bruno. I think Bruno will score from a corner, believe it or not. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I said a corner.
One of those funny headers.
I didn't say directly from a corner, just the corner leading up to the goal. It could be a little bit of a scramble. Trent falls on his arse as he normally does, and he sticks it in the back of the net. So I'm going 2-1. I'm thinking, no Newcastle United the way I do all these years of supporting them. It's just one of those that I think we can get a win out of, and I'll be bloody chuffed, and get in the little Scouse heads for the cup final. Maxie says he wants to come back to Newcastle. Oh dear. Don't make Alex cry, please. He's emotional enough at this stage of the season. Anyway, that is it for the preview.
Play on the right.
Well, he would, but he'd do his Michael Jackson stuff and then give the ball away in the final third. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Thank you for your super chats, memberships, etc. It has been a pleasure. Thank you to the mods and, of course, to Lady Sam and Alex. We are back live again tomorrow night for the big match itself. 7:45 we start. It is an 8:15 kickoff at Anfield. So join us at 7:45 for full match build-up. We'll take a look at the teams and see how you're feeling ahead of the game. And then, of course, play-by-play commentary with me and Billy for the 90 minutes. So it is going to be a cracker. So make sure you join us at 7:45 for that. Thank you to Mamaroo Records again for sponsoring the channel. Check their website out, top of the description. If you're in Whitley Bay, head into the town centre. You can't miss them. Go and give Steve a visit there. Tell him you're a TTR viewer and he'll do you a fantastic deal. But thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. It's been a great show, as usual. And we will see you all again for the big game tomorrow night. In the meantime, take care.
Now we're the lads and lasses.
Jesus Christ, can I get you buggers to do anything on this channel right? Good Lord in the sky. What is going on? Good night, folks. I'm going to bollock these behind the scenes. Take care, everybody.
Come back and check out some green.